stay away from Newport, Oregon, and find a better place to be, which is what I'm going to do right now. Well, today's a first. I just had somebody call the police on me. Police came down here, talked to me, told me that they don't want me around. I am here in Newport, Oregon. Spent a couple days here, and I was going to say pretty cool town and come down and check it out, but at this point I'm going to say stay away from Newport, Oregon and find a better place to be, which is what I'm going to do right now. Let's get on the road and go find a friendlier place.
Take the next right onto US 101 South.
Now, just to be clear, I was really enjoying my time here in Newport. I was quite enamored with this little town. I thought it was fantastic. That is right up until about 20 minutes ago when I had to have a little conversation with the police department. They actually ran my license. I don't know if that's a common thing or not, but I don't have Oregon plates, and so I did tell them that. I said if I had Oregon plates, you probably wouldn't be talking to me right now. And he said, "Oh no, we don't allow anybody to park here." He said, in fact, our next call is an RV, a full-size RV. We have to go over and talk to them too. So I don't know if that was really true or not, but I'm assuming it is, because he did seem like he was sincere when he said it, and it just kind of reinforced to me that this is not a place to spend time. So I'm not going to give Newport a glowing recommendation. I am just going to skedaddle quickly, and it was my plan to leave anyway. I told him I was heading out in about 20 minutes, so they encouraged me to keep to that plan. Newport here has this really awesome bridge. It is very tall. It's not very long, but it's very tall, and normally you get a really good view out to the ocean on one side and some mountains on the other, but as you can not see, we're socked in with fog today, so no view to look at today. Well, I haven't spent a whole lot of time here in Oregon. Usually when I'm driving through, I'm in a hurry to get someplace. I usually have an appointment that I have to get to, and so I've just not ever stopped for any length of time. I was really enjoying this little stay and thinking that I would have a nice slow drive through and check out quite a bit of area, but maybe that'll change now. I don't know if the whole state is unfriendly as Newport is. And again, it may be because I don't have an Oregon plate. That may be part of it too. I don't know. The one thing I do know is I do really enjoy driving through here, especially on the coast when it's rainy and foggy and overcast. And we've got lots of that today, so it should be a really pretty drive, and I'm gonna stop complaining about the rude people and just start to enjoy the drive and enjoy the scenery, because this is some of the best, prettiest scenery I've ever seen anywhere. So I'm going to enjoy this, and we're going to, I think, my favorite place that I have actually spent any bit of time in here in Oregon. It's not too far away from Newport here, so we'll be there shortly, and I'll be in a better mood in just a few minutes. I really like all these cool little towns they have here in Oregon. They're just these tiny little towns, and they seem like they are set back in time. They have kind of a real homey feel to them. Okay, we are here, and this was a real short drive from Newport. We're at Cape Perpetua, which is in the Siuslaw National Forest. Probably mispronouncing that. I drove here to the Visitors Center to start out with. I probably should have just drove over to the day use area. There's day use and camping areas here as well. But this will get us started. Let's go take a look out at how pretty it is out here. Now, this is a national forest, so you will need a pass of some sort. I have an America the Beautiful pass, but there's also a Northwest Forest pass, I think, that you can get that would cover this. But that's just one thing to keep in mind. If you don't have one, then you will have to buy a pass when you get here. So we're just going to walk out here around the visitors center because they have this huge deck that has an awesome view down below. Last time I was here, it was rainy and chilly, very foggy too, and it was beautiful. The visibility is quite a bit better today than it was on my last visit, so I like it a little bit better just to see a little bit more, but being here when it's rainy is really nice too. The sounds and all, and the view from up here is just awesome. We will take a little walk down below in just a bit, but I did not eat breakfast this morning because I was kind of ran out of town earlier. I said I was going to stop complaining. I should probably stop complaining. But yeah, I had a whole plan on going out to the bridge at the edge of Newport and making breakfast there and then driving out here. But that didn't happen this morning just because of the earlier events. So let's get back to the van, make a little breakfast, and then we can take a little walk around. I didn't really expect it to be this busy here today, but it's such a beautiful spot that you can see why there's so many people around. Well, I did make coffee earlier, but that's long gone. We'll hold off from making any more of that for a moment. I think right now I'm gonna cook up some potatoes. I have some par-cooked potatoes here, and I'll make a quick egg and potato burrito. Have some more of these really good heirloom eggs. I think that's just a name. I don't know how an egg can be an heirloom, but they are good eggs. So this will make a tasty, quick breakfast, and then we can get out, do a little walking. This is one of my favorite little meal preps to do, is I just par-cook some potatoes and chop them up and fry them up as I need them. I've got the silicone bag I use for these quite often. I like this because it takes up very little space in my fridge. I've got a tiny fridge, so I can kind of conform this around to any small shape that I've got going on in the fridge. So if the fridge is filled up with food, which I'm not real filled up at the moment, but I've got a bit of food in there. So this allows me to make a little more space, make use of the space a little bit better, I guess is what I'm trying to say. But yeah, having some potatoes on hand that I can just throw in a pan and fry up a little bit, and I'm doing that in some olive oil and some butter combined, and I just like to get a nice bit of color on them so that they have plenty of flavor. And then I'm also going to dust them with some chili powder, and a little while back I found this ancho chili powder, so that's what I've been using. It has a nice kind of fruity flavor, ancho chili powder does. It's not very spicy though, so if you're looking for spicy chili powder, this is not the one to get. It looks like I'm about ready to go in here with the chili powder. And then once I get these nicely fried up, I have the eggs standing by, and I'm just going to do a couple of eggs, and I've got some cheese, and I will wrap those up into a tortilla, and that'll be breakfast. Now, even though I've got the chili powder that I toasted up nicely on the potatoes, and it got all dispersed through the eggs too, which will make them taste extra good, I'm gonna go in here with some yellowbird sauce. This is the jalapeno version. This is the one I've been kind of craving lately. I don't know why. I just, for some reason, have been really especially liking this one. So that's what I'm using today. I do like my yellowbird sauce. Oh, I almost forgot the cheese. Silly. Okay, a little feta cheese, and I will wrap this up. And this looks pretty tasty to me. Well, would you look at that? We've got a little blue sky peeking out. Little sun too. Means I'm getting some solar. That's good. Well, in my opinion, a simple meal is the best meal. Seems like I enjoy them better than when I get all involved and make something really spectacular and complex. Give me an egg and potato burrito with some really good cheese and really good hot sauce, and I am happy. Now, I did not make any more coffee, but I've got some water in my little pack here. And let's go. Why does this thing always confuse me? It's a sling pack. Goes around, I guess that works. You can wear it around either shoulder. For some reason, it always confuses me to put it on. All right, let's go take a walk. Oh, this is where we're heading here. Just going to be a short little walk down this trail. We do cross the highway, but they make it really easy and safe. I think we go under the highway, so this should be a nice, pretty little walk/hike. There are a whole network of trails here, so the one that we're going to do takes us down to the beach, but there are also trails that go up into the mountains, so it has a little bit of everything for everybody, whatever you're looking for. If you want a real hike, I think you should probably go mountainside, but I always go towards the water. Yeah, here we go, right under the highway. This is Route 101. Makes a nice, safe, easy way to get through here. It's crazy, when I left Seattle, it was well over 80 degrees. It was going to be 90 degrees in the next day or two. I get down here, and it's not even 60 degrees today. Overcast, sprinkled a little bit this morning. Clearing up now. But this is a much more preferable place to be, in my opinion. Oh man, look at these views. What makes this especially fantastic here, this spot, is we have what's called Thor's Well behind us. It's a big, huge open pit into the water that the waves, when they come crashing up through, they come exploding out. And they also have another spot that is really cool, I think kind of almost cooler, is a Spouting Horn, which is right behind us here. We'll go try to get a closer look at both of these. Every time I've been here before, the water comes flying up out of that Spouting Horn that's right behind us here, but it's not quite doing it today. It is giving a kind of a thunderous clap. Sounds a little bit like rolling thunder from off in the distance, so it's cool to experience even if it's not at its full peak. Let's go down and take a look at Thor's Well. This would be the first time I've actually gone to walk down near Thor's Well. I've always stood up at the bridge, up at the little parking area here, just off Highway 101. Every time I've been here before this trip, it's always been pouring down rain. So I've never wanted to walk out here through the mud and all. And I think the tide has been up a little farther every time I've been here before, which is maybe why the Spouting Horn isn't quite shooting as much as I've seen it in the past. This is so well worth the drive out here and the little hike out here. Kind of wish I did it when it was raining, because there were less people when I've been here before. Nicer weather, we're in the summertime, so expect that this is going to be a popular area, but Wow, this is definitely worth it. Well, a few months back, I bought a pair of barefoot shoes from a company called Wildling, and I am extra happy with them on terrain like this. If I were wearing a normal pair of hiking shoes or hiking boots, I would have a little trouble scrambling over these rocks here, so I'm really liking these shoes. I say that about the Wildling shoes because I'm a little surprised that I like to hike in them, but I think because they have such a thin sole that your foot can kind of conform to uneven ground a little bit better, whereas if you had a real rigid boot, you have a tendency to kind of slip off, and also you don't have any kind of ground feel. So I kind of think of it like driving. You know, do you want a car that is squishy and soft in suspension? I learned how to drive on a Crown Victoria, and while it was nice and comfortable, it was very different from my first car, which was kind of a sports sedan that you really felt what's going on in the road. And I think of these shoes as kind of being the same. They give you a lot more sense of what's going on underfoot, and it makes hiking really nice and comfortable in them. And that's been a big surprise with me with these shoes. I've been really pleasantly happy with them, just pleasantly surprised with them. I feel like I should say that this is my favorite area of Oregon, but also I don't really know Oregon all that well. I just haven't spent a whole lot of time here, so there's probably lots more beautiful places that I don't know about. But I have stopped here several times and I just enjoy it so much. I would go out of my way to check this place out. It's really worth it. Well, this area just never disappoints. This is just a spectacular place, and I really probably would have enjoyed camping here. There is some pretty decent camping in this area too, but we'll try that another day. I think for right now, I need some coffee. So I have not been in Oregon long enough to have bought some local coffee. So I am drinking some Seattle coffee, and this is some really good stuff. This is from Metropolitan Market. It's a gourmet grocery store in and around the Seattle area. And this is their house blend, which is called their El Metro Espresso. And I mention this, I'm making a point in mentioning this because I normally talk about coffee when I get to a new area and I try out a new coffee. And I do that not to try to encourage you to buy the coffee that I'm currently drinking, but it's really to try to show you that there's great coffee no matter where you are. Now, you might have to search it out a little bit and try to find the good stuff, and it may take a little while of searching. For instance, like this coffee, one of the best coffees I've ever had, one of the most premium coffees I've ever had, and yet it's from a grocery store. That is not something that I would have initially expected. So that's really why I talk about coffees when I travel from place to place. It's really just to try to point out that there's great coffee all around. You will need to do a little legwork to find it, and hopefully I can point out some of the good coffees that are out there. And if you're traveling in an area, or if you live in an area that I am traveling, maybe you'd like to try some yourself. But there should be some really good coffee in your area, in your hometown. And I'm just encouraging you to find it. Search it out and find it. Now, this might go without saying, but when I find some really good coffee, especially if it's fantastic coffee at a great deal, like this El Metro Espresso that I'm drinking today, I load up on it and I buy a ton of it. So I'll be buying some more local coffee, even though I've got quite a bit of this on hand, but I'll probably buy another bit of local coffee once I'm stopped for a little bit. Certainly not going to buy it in Newport, but I'll switch to that one, and then I do have another bag of this El Metro that I'll go back to once I'm done drinking the next bag of whatever it is. Okay, so I've got my travel mug out here because we are going to hit the road. I was kind of hoping to hang around Oregon a little bit here, but with the recent events, not this part. Obviously, Cape Perpetua is incredible, and everybody's been friendly and nice and everything here. But just after this morning's little run-in, I'm just not really feeling like hanging around Oregon. So I think I'm just going to hit the road, and I can get back south into California in about 4 hours if I drive like a normal person. So that'll be about 5 or 6 hours for me. I can be back in California today, so I think that's what I'm going to do. So we've got road coffee ready to go, and again, I'm not complaining, really. Well, I mean, I am, but I mean, I'm not trying to complain. I enjoy this drive, and when I start driving, I don't usually stop. So this has been a fantastic time to get to spend a few hours here today. This area, Cape Perpetua, just never disappoints, and I do highly, highly, highly recommend you check this spot out. But for me, and right now, I'm going to get on the road. Well, I've been driving for quite a while now, and I still have, I think, about another hour and a half to go. But this is a spot that I cannot pass up, another spot that I cannot pass up. We are in Port Orford, and this is just one of my favorite views. So this is a little rest area with some restrooms right back here, and this just phenomenal view out here. The one problem with this spot is it's always windy here, just always crazy windy, but put up with it because that view is just incredible. Okay, so I'm gonna make a burrito and some coffee, and then I'm gonna do some slack-jawed staring out at the view, and then we'll get back on the road. And for dinner, of course, we are gonna do a burrito. I said that already, didn't I? But I do have some local organic ground beef, so eaten like a local here, and one Trader Joe's tortilla left, and I think I've got some leftover beans, so we'll just clean out the fridge here. That wind is just howling away. I have never been here where it wasn't so windy it felt like it was going to blow you right over. And usually when I've been here, it's been rainy too. Kind of interesting to see it today with clear skies. Kind of thinking I should have opened up another can of beans because I don't have a whole lot since I was just eating the leftovers of a can I had already open. But I'm not really that hungry, probably because all I've been doing is sitting. I haven't done a whole lot of walking today. And I guess it's tiring to drive, but I just don't really feel like I've been doing that much, exerting myself that much today. So it's a little small, but I do have some guacamole that I'm going to add in here, and I'll be a little heavy-handed with that to kind of make up for the smaller size of the burrito here. And more feta like before. I'm actually trying to finish this up. I bought some feta not too long ago and used it on a recipe that I do on a hot day. Maybe you saw that video, maybe you didn't, but it's been kind of kicking around the fridge, and I think I need to finish it up. I don't know for sure, but I think feta has a shorter shelf life than cheddar cheese, which I normally use. So I've been trying to eat this up. Plus, it's really tasty. This feta is incredible. It's a sheep's milk feta, and it's been a long time since I've had sheep's milk feta, so I'm really kind of, yeah, I'm thinking now I'm hooked on sheep's milk feta cheese. That's what I need to get hooked on something else. I'm hooked on expensive coffee. I'm hooked on Yellowbird. It's all I need, isn't it? All along this drive here, I kept passing little farm stands selling fresh produce, especially cherries and peaches, I think. Not sure if peaches are actually in season, but I know cherries are in season right now, and it was killing me because I couldn't buy any. And if you don't know why, whenever you drive into California, you have to stop at a little agricultural checkpoint, and they ask you if you have any fruits or vegetables because you're not allowed to bring them across the state line. I don't know why. Now, you can take them out of California, and you can also do this in any other state. You can drive, any other state and take fruits and vegetables with you, but you can't bring fruits and vegetables back into California. And because I know that I'm going back into California now, I had to keep passing up all those fruit stands and all those delicious looking cherries. So as soon as I get to a store down in California, I'm going to try to find some of those cherries because they looked really good. Oddly, the last half dozen times or so, whenever I've got to that little checkpoint, they've not asked me if I've had any fruits or vegetables. They just kind of look at me and wave me on through. So I don't know if they still ask. I kind of think they're looking for other things nowadays, and they don't really care about fruits and vegetables anymore, and they just kind of use it as a fruit and vegetable checkpoint because that's what it always was. But I don't want to take the chance in getting there and then they actually ask me if I have anything on board. Oh well. I do have a burrito though, and this always makes me happy. Well, that burrito was extra tasty. I'm hoping that my coffee will be just as good with any luck. If not, I have an incredible drive ahead of me. I'm going to get back on the road and get down to California. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of questions about why I am not spending more time here in Oregon and why I'm skedaddling quickly back to California. It is because I have a rather important appointment that I need to get to. It was set up a couple of weeks ago, and I was kind of in a hurry, and then they got in touch with me and said that they had to put it off 3 days. So since I had 3 days extra to get back to California, that's why I had stopped a couple of days here and just hung out in Oregon. I did enjoy my time right up until, this morning. But I like Oregon. I wish I can spend a little more time. It just seems like a lot of the time I'm in a hurry to get someplace, and there's no difference today. In fact, this one's, like I said, an important appointment that I need to take care of, and we'll talk more about that when we get up to it. So I think with that, I'm gonna get back on the road and say goodnight, even though it's still quite bright out and I still have lots of driving to do. I think I need to just concentrate on getting to my destination today, and we'll check in with you next time. Maybe show you where I stopped tonight on a future vlog, but that does it for today. So thanks for watching. I really appreciate it.